If you like these videos, please smash the subscribe button down below. Today, we're going to be discussing SundaeSwap DEX on Cardano, their mainnet launch, and expectations and congestion, and what that means for SundaeSwap in the Cardano blockchain. If you're looking for a small single stake pool to delegate your ADA to for a 5% annual percentage yield in more ADA, please consider Rare Pool. I'm one of the founders of the Rare Pool. We're almost 1 year old, and founding partner in the Rare Bloom, a live Cardano convention and event that you might have heard about. We appreciate your delegation. Let's get into the SundaeSwap information. SundaeSwap is a decentralized trading protocol on Cardano. SundaeSwap Labs believes it's important to educate the community on some of the expected orientational constraints and limitations that the blockchain DEX would exhibit on opening day and throughout the first few weeks after launch. And if you don't know what decentralized exchanges are and what SundaeSwap is, it's a place where you can swap between two different tokens. Let's say you wanted to swap your ADA for some chocolate token. You could do that here on SundaeSwap, and they have a ton of different liquidity pools. But let's get more into it. They put out a post about their expectations and congestion during their mainnet launch. And what they said about their first smart contracts was very interesting. Here's what they said. The first smart contract-backed automated market maker transaction on Cardano mainnet was on December, I believe, 18th, using their smart contracts. Over the course of the 40-minute load test, a single SundaeSwap scooper performed 139 scoops. Those are transactions, which aggregate many user operations or transactions all in one batch, which is approximately 3 scoops a minute. This is lower than the 7 scoops a minute they saw on the testnet. And additionally, due to lower protocol parameters on the mainnet compared to testnet, these scoops average an aggregate of 3 user operations each. This is lower than the 5 to 8 operations they observed during the testnet back in December 18th. They expect a large backlog mainnet as well, and even under SundaeSwap's most optimistic predictions, they want to inform the public that while orders, including swapping, providing liquidity, and withdrawing liquidity, may take days to process, everybody's orders will be processed fairly, and in order they were received and executable. It will also be possible to cancel your order at any time before they're processed by the scoopers. Although they expect the backlog during the first day of the protocol, they're very confident that the protocol can meet normal day-to-day load once things settle down. Given the size of the community and the excitement around the launch, this initial swell of activity is invitable. As we saw at the testnet, once the scoopers burn through any large surges in backlog, orders for common pools should execute within a few blocks. So they clearly state here that this should be fixed rather quickly with the initial surge, and that after a few days, everything should operate very smoothly. This will further be improved as IOG implements a planned series of improvements and enhances to scale Cardano network capacity through 2022. This includes increasing in block size and PlutoScript memory units. Other optimization and improvements are in the works that will improve throughput and allow further parameter increases over the long term. These include a new version of the Cardano node due for mainnet release by IOG in early January. Version of the Cardano node due for mainnet release by IOG in early January will spread staking rewards, calculation over the whole epoch, and improving headroom and overall network performance significantly. So this should be coming very, very soon, and that's very, very interesting. Another new networking improvement known as pipelining will improve block propagation time significantly. An improvement to the node that allows to store portions of the protocol state to disk will allow nodes to hold in less memory, allowing an increase in memory units. Several Cardano improvement proposals, including CIP 0031, CIP 32, and 33, will greatly reduce the size of transactions. Additional improvements to SundaeSwap DEX will be presented and voted on by the community as part of the commitment to decentralized government. And Layer 2 solutions such as Hydra and others will allow large portions of the protocol to trade volume to be executed faster and cheaper. I don't expect Hydra to be coming anytime soon, but I do expect to see a lot of improvements on Cardano over the next year, and I think a lot of the scaling problems that Ethereum is seeing won't be seen on Cardano because they were thought out beforehand. I do believe it's a good sign, and for realsies says this in the Twitch chat, any date on when Cardano becomes unusable I do believe it's a good sign that you see volume going up, that you see blocks being filled, and that we're having this issue. That's exactly what Ethereum sells as block space, and the issue they have is there's so many people that want to use it, and there's more people coming online every day than faster than they can scale, that there's nothing but the gas price can go up to compete for that block space. And you want to see a little bit of that on Cardano, but at the same time, you want to know that the path to being able to solve those issues and scaling as the world comes on to use your blockchain is possible. And right now, Ethereum, at this date, January 10th, 2022, Ethereum is failing at that, and Cardano is nipping at their heels as a true decentralized blockchain that might catch up. And if the slower peer review turns out to work, and everybody laughed the whole time when smart contracts, when staking, blah, 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 well, staking's live, smart contracts are live, DEXs are about to drop. When does all that go away, and when does it become a true competition? And do I want to have some beforehand? The answer for me is yes. The answer is also, if you made it this far in the video, to stake to Rare Pool, or a small single staking pool that could use your help in your delegation. So SundaeSwap actually had to respond after this happened and explained in a Twitter thread, we will link down below to their Twitter thread, on how their scaling is going to work and how the backlogs are just FUD from the Ethereum maxis, how the backlogs could be in a few days. And once that the Cardano can not only handle the transactions as a layer 1 network, but will be able to scale to a better position. And another way to take a look at that is participating, hopping in the SundaeSwap Discord, checking out the pinned tweets in their general. And you can read through here. There's a very interesting post on here about how it's going to work, how the scoopers work, and his exact response to Kobe. And I can read through a little bit of it. 0.15 transactions a second is our expected TPS with current parameters and current network load based on a load test they conducted in December.
Oh, bitch, I can't see.
Bitch, snap out of it.
Bitch, I can't fucking see.
Real world throughput for our DEX, not for Cardano as a whole. For comparison, this works out to 12,960 transactions per day. Uniswap V3 does 28,000 per day on average, last I checked. Uniswap is $1 billion business, so the fact that we can approach that seems pretty good to us. Obviously not where we want to be long term. We're most worried about is the initial load. Since we built up an incredible amount of excitement for our project, on the testnet we saw 130,000 orders in the first week. But once that excitement burns off, we're fairly confident about the steady state. To understand where those numbers come from, let me explain background. Cardano is structured so that state is inherently sharded across transaction outputs rather than global. In the long term, this has potential to be far more scalable, rather than retrofitting sharding after the fact like a number of L2s are trying to do. As a consequence, however, any concurrent access to sharded state leads contention. This is true on Ethereum too, for whatever it's worth, and Ethereum solves it by introducing non-determinalism. That is, when you sign a transaction, you're agreeing to whatever the outcome of the transaction is by the time it executes. That means if the state changes, Ethereum doesn't need to come back and ask you to re-sign the transaction, but it also means the smart contract have more power to operate on your behalf and don't always make the best decision you would have made. That's very interesting. Cardano transactions are more deterministic. You sign your signature to the exact state change, inputs and outputs. The hypothesis of this overall leads to more security, since you get to see the outcome of every transaction you sign. But it does mean that if you design a protocol with shared global state, the user experience can suffer. This is very interesting. Sign and submit race, where everyone tries to interact with the liquidity pool. To solve this, each protocol will need to solve this in some way, and either structure their protocol without shared state or manage access to the shared state. Since we're building a liquidity pool and capital efficiency comes from the aggregation of funds, global state is fairly unavoidable in our case. Our solution, since we love a theme, is to introduce concepts of scoops. You list your order on chain as one transaction. I will trade 100 ADA for at least 150 LQ tokens. A scooper, think Aave liquidator, collects these and builds the transaction that executes a number of orders in a single transaction. They have no access to the funds, and the transaction they can construct is entirely deterministic. But since they're an automated process, they can deal with re-signing the transaction and resubmitting if the state changes before the transaction is adopted. This also has the benefit that orders on our platform are cancelable and act as limit orders. So given current network setting, that's very interesting. It's basically a limit order because you can cancel it and change your order at any time before it executes. That's very interesting to know. So given current network settings, which we have set very conservatively for a global network run on commodity hardware, very key to also know, you can run a Cardano node on very, very cheap hardware, a Raspberry Pi. I believe the Raspberry Pi is going away as the blockchain kind of expands, but still, it is very, very cheap to run a node. There are costs to running a pool and multiple nodes, and making sure you have a pool updated and time is necessary to put in. And that's important to the Rare pool. We strive on that. We do not miss blocks. We've been around for over a year, so please delegate to the Rare pool if you have a little bit of ADA lying around in a private wallet that's not delegated to a pool. So given current network settings, which have been set conservatively, the number in your tweets are more or less what we expect. At peak on mainnet, we can fit 3 scoops per block, 3 user orders per scoop, and roughly 20 seconds per block. We might see speeds of up to 0.6 user orders per second, compared to Uniswap's 0.32 per day. That seems decent. Again, not saying we're better than Uniswap, yet since I'm sure their max throughput is much higher, but it shows that we can withstand reasonable demand for a fairly big layer 1 DEX. And he goes further into the questions 2, 3, and 4. If you want to read this post, you're going to have to join the SundaeSwap Discord and read it in the pinned tweets in the general. It's very, very interesting. I won't go much further into it. Rare Bloom, if you made it this far, we are co-founders of the Rare Pool, ticker RARE. Please delegate. We're also co-founders with Bloom Pool and the Rare Bloom Live Cardano Convention, October 14th and 15th, 2022, at the Gaylord Rockies Convention Center and Hotel in Denver, Colorado. From inspiring speakers and cutting-edge exhibitors to digital art installations, live music, and much more, the resort offers a family-friendly experience, very important. Water park, gym, spa, on-site restaurants, host of activities to cater to the whole family. The weekend will be a celebration of all things Cardano, and we cannot wait for you to join us. See you there. You can see special guests, Singularity Net, Singularity DAO, NewNet, and Ben Gortzel, all tied together there. Ben Gortzel, the king of AI on the blockchain and decentralized artificial intelligence. SundaeSwap, who this video is about, will be there. They will have a booth there. Input Output, IOG, the company that makes the Cardano blockchain, or who programs it. Liquid Finance, one of my favorites, DC from Liquid Finance, shout out. Great guy out there. Love everything he's doing all around the Cardano ecosystem. Liquid Finance will be there. ADA handle will be there. I need to get my ADA handle, and they open it back up again. NFT Maker will be there. Indigo Protocol, shout out Eric from Indigo Protocol, another fire protocol on the Cardano blockchain doing synthetic assets. Token, shout out Token. Shout out Anthony and Bloom Pool, and really Anthony for Token, Drip Drops, Bloom Pool, Rare Pool right here, Big Pay, Mycelial Gallery and Big Pay and Ben, Patrick Tobler, Rick McCracken, Shweta, Kaizen, Fabrizio, Cardano with Paul, Layla Hepburn, Goose. Shout out all the people from the Cardano community going. When you hear all these ETH maxis out here dropping, oh, it's a ghost chain. Oh, they don't have smart contracts. Know that Cardano not only has staking working, that you can stake to Rare Pool right now and earn 5% APY and more ADA every single year. Know that they have smart contracts now, and know that DEXs like SundaeSwap are about to drop, places like yield aggregators like Liquid Finance are about to drop, and things like Indigo Protocol are about to drop, where you can play with synthetic assets. You've got all the NFTs you could ever dream of going on Token, Mycelial Gallery. You can now claim other tokens from Drip Drops. You could buy yourself an ADA handle just like an .eth handle, and so much more. So this is not a ghost chain. Slap the subscribe button down below, and we'll see you at the Rare Bloom.